Tucked away in the rolling hills of upstate New York, this place isn't just a circuit. It's a cornerstone of motorsport history. The air is heavy with tradition. Every corner, every bump, every blade of grass has seen legends come and go. This is where American racing found its soul, where Formula One roared through the 60s and 70s. Clark, Hill, Stewart, Lauder, the names stretch on forever into the Glen's winding tarmac. This is where endurance heroes have conquered the night, where the stock cars, prototypes, open wheelers and the Gen3s tonight will all leave their mark. The S's flowing fast, fearless. The inner loop, brutal, precise, unforgiving. The boot, long, technical. A true test of rhythm and respect. It's a track that rewards the brave and punishes the proud. Watkins Glen is never kind, but it's always honest. It asks every driver the same question: how far are you willing to go? This is not just a racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. This is a test of courage. This is sensational TV. Oh, yes, indeedy, ladies and gentlemen. Keyboard warriors and pedal pushers of distinction. Welcome to the Aussie Sim Racing Gen3 Championship Round 2. The digital dance of danger, the cybernetic circus of speed. It's the only place where men and questionable broadband do even worse decisions in making glorious simulated splendor. Tonight, these virtual V8 virtuosos will thunder around the track with all the subtlety of a lawnmower in the library. Brake bias fiddled, tyre temperatures tweeted with. We are going to have dive bombs, disconnections, and more pedal panic than a kangaroo in a go-kart. Yes, and I'll be steering the ship broadcast solo tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Munro is my name, and like a budget pirate captain in the sea of slipstreams, it's just you, me, and a whole lot of throttle therapy coming your way. So fire up your rigs, fasten the harnesses, and pray to the sim gods of mercy, because the lights are about to go out and somewhere in the distance a USB cable has just shit the bed. But welcome everyone to the stream tonight. My name is Chris Munro, as I said, joining you for tonight's broadcast at a whim as well, mind you. I've had to chuck the old rig in the car and pack it up the highway and set it up on a standing desk, which I tell you what, I'm a big fan of. Don't you worry about that. I'm going to have all the David Croft action tonight. We've got the Aussie Sim Racing Gen3 Supercars coming at you tonight from Watkins, Glen. Let's have a look what the order is tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a 2-lap qualifying session coming up very shortly. You can see the drivers just finishing up their briefing now. Then following that is a 30-minute race 1 with a second qualifying session, a 3-lap reverse grid. So that's going to be absolutely insane to see the guys trying to filter through on that one. Race 2 after that will be a 30-minute sprint to the line. It's Watkins Glen, ladies and gentlemen. 5.4 kilometres of American madness coming at you. 11 turns, and today the temperature is 21 degrees out there in US of A. So we're going to be looking forward to all the racing action coming up shortly. Evening to all in the chat as well. We've got Grey Ward in there. BK Cairns says he's doing sim bloody sational. It's good to hear, Mr. Cairns, and the capital of North Queensland up there for you, my friend. We got Brendan Hark in the chat as well, saying evening, everyone, and Jeremy Bond. It's James's cousin there as well. There says looking forward to the racing, and yes, I think we all are indeed. It looks like they should be out on track very shortly. We're just waiting on the official green light here for qualifying, and we're going to get underway here at Watkins Glen. In the meantime, we're going to bring up the standings from last week. It is round 2, folks, so it's super early on in the season. But Ryan Shelton is your championship leader at the moment. 227 points in the bank, with Logan Howard just nipping at his heels there, 7 points behind. Ethan Curran sitting in P3 as well, 16 points shy of second position. Jacob Smith down there in 4th with Aidan Rankin. Stuart Patterson Juha Sarella. Sorry about that. I will murder your name tonight and possibly forevermore, so forgive me for that one. Greg Cook, the chef there in 8th position. We've got Mornay Deploy. You can have one guess where he's from, ladies and gentlemen. As Wade Georgeson as well down there in 10th position. Gray Ward representing STV tonight down there in 11th position. We've got Ash Rogers, David Jansen, Jade Andrews, Jason Hutchins, Cliff Potter, Max Siberian. We got Wayne Rogers. We got Mitchell Sykes, Dean Somerville, and Zach Reynolds. Rounds out your top 20 tonight. There was I think one or two more in the standings, but they were all on 0 points, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to score a point to get on the stream tonight. Don't you worry about that one. Looks like the gentlemen are sitting in the pit lane still. We'll get a nice little view of that. Get your predictions in the chat. It was looking back on the stream from last week. Logan Howard came out firing in the first qualifying session and absolutely smoked them all. Couldn't put it together in race 2 though, and gave back all those points. And Ryan Shelton came over the top and took out the round win. Only 7 points shy, so we're going to see a continuation of that little battle tonight, and I'm all for it. Looking forward to it as well. It's my first time out here in the Gen 3s in this season as well, of Season 2. We got to call the final round of Season 1 over at the Bend a few weeks back, and I tell you what, that was a big day of streaming for us here in the commentary box. I had drunk my fair share, or drunk my weight of beers in that day, so that was a good one. A few little slurred words towards the end, but tonight the body is a temple, so don't you worry about that. There will be no slurred words, only slurred, well, there will be slurred words, don't you worry about that. We don't need booze for that. But it looks like Shelton's out there on circuit now. Let's see if we can find him. Here he goes in the Pennzoil entry. The Mustang looking mighty fine out there on the circuit. We're going to, no, it's a solo qualifying, ladies and gentlemen, as well. So it's just one car out there on track for their POV, so they will all be going around at about the same point of the circuit, I'm pretty sure. So we'll find out more about that. But on the broadcast side, I can see them all, so I feel like some kind of sim racing Jesus out here tonight. That's everyone hide your genitals. Let's get going here. Ryan Shelton down, dipping into turn 9. No, that's where are we? Turn 6, actually, through the chute, and coming around to toe corner. This is a really great turn as well. You can brake a hell of a lot later than you think. This is the uphill camber as well. But Ryan Shelton just warming up his tyres here, lighting up the rears. And we'll go on board for a hot lap of Watkins Glen once he gets around the circuit and to the start-finish line. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. They've gone through. No, we're actually still in practice. How about that? So we've got a 5-minute warm-up. Then we will get into qualifying. But this is Shelton, by the way. His best lap during practice, a 150.7. It's pretty tidy. I think Tim Nicol has bumped into the 49s. Will we see anyone else get down there sub 1 minute 50? We're going to find out very shortly. But let's go on a flying hot lap here of Watkins Glen as we cross the start-finish line down into the 90-degree turn of turn 1. It's very deceptive, this one. You can certainly run wide, and there's a very big apron there inviting you to do so, but you will... you'll cop yourself a little bit of a slowdown penalty there if you take it too wide and take too much of the liberty there. But then up through the S's, and it's puckering the old chocolate freckle moment there as you see the wall approaching at a rate of knots that down the back straight, and it's down to the inner loop here where you can really take the P155 over these so-called curbs. But they're as flat as a pancake, folks, so you can just throw the old Gen 3 over that and they handle it just beautifully. Through the outer loop as well, another fantastic turn. You got more grip than you think as well. Down into the chute here at turn 6. Another deceptive one as the track sort of falls away from you and you go down through the gears to the toe, they call this, turn 7 as well. But of course, halfway through, we run out of practice time, and now it's time for the real qualifying to go out there. But yeah, it is certainly a fantastic track out there. We've got Ron Marshall chimed in saying, "Evening, boys, and evening, everyone else." Absolutely. We've got the Tomato Motorsport as well. The head of the cheese board is tuned in. He says, "Peeping for some future iRacing tips and tricks." Well, you've tuned in at the right time, mate, because these guys are the bizzo. These fellas know exactly how to do it. Ryan Shelton, indeed, one of the quicker drivers out there as well. So we're going to see all of them on display right now, actually. So we're going to see what we can do here for the first time around. This is qualifying, folks. 2 laps. As good as you can get. Matt Munro chiming in the chat as well. I can see him in front of me sitting on the couch watching the stream as well. So welcome to him. We've got, who else we got in the chat there as well? Everyone chiming in, everyone at home. Welcome. This is Simsational TV. My name is Chris Munro. This is the Aussie Sim Racing Gen 3 Super Series, we're going to call it, because it's been dead set super, fully sick, if you ask me. But we're going to try and finish off this lap on board with Ryan Shelton once we get around on this opening the opening out lap, should I say. It's one of those circuits as well that it's just so fast and flowy. It does induce a bit of confidence as well. And in these cars, I had a quick rip around them earlier on. They are a hell of a lot of fun. They've got way more rear grip than I expected as well. You can really be a bit more liberal on the old right foot as well in some of these turns, because I guess they're a lot of mid to high speed exits as well, so you're not really relying on that much low down grunt to get you off the line, but it's more of a steady input of the throttle. But let's go on board this time and see if we can get around a full lap here, ladies and gentlemen. For the second time, it is Ryan Shelton crossing the line now. This is his opening hot lap. He's going to try and just put in a banker here, and then you can really turn the screws in the second time around. It is a great circuit. Brendan Harks chimes in the chat as well. I'm going to need all your help in the chat tonight, folks, as I'm out here solo. So it's been a little while since I've done a solo stream, but you can see, just getting all sorts of, rickety Ann on the old steering wheel there. Just corrections aplenty for Ryan Shelton. It just goes to show he really is on the push here at the moment, and taking liberties there through the chicane as well. It's what you got to do, folks. You got to leave every millimeter out there, especially in qualifying, because you see, it's one of my philosophies, folks. If you want to lead down into turn 1, the best way to do it is in qualifying. Don't even worry about that rubbish about the old dive into turn 1 from 2 rows back. If you haven't earned it in qualifying, you've got no business going through there into T1. So we're going to see all these guys trying to get up there as well right here, right now. But look at him through turn 7, turning it in, trying to get the traction down. You can see the rear end just wanting to slip out there a little bit, and a few little micro corrections there from Shelton as well on the steering wheel. But here we get to the point of the circuit where we did before. This is the heel. Now up through the gears, and you go up in altitude as well to the top. I think this might be the highest part of the circuit. You go around to turn 9. And now it's the fun part. It's really just rip it in and steer the car with your right foot. Look for the apex down here through turn 10 and feed in the throttle. Get that car rotated right out to the edge of the track goes Ryan Shelton as well. Beautiful stuff. Now for the final turn, gets it tucked in and crosses the line for a 1 minute. This could be pretty quick, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how he stops the timing tower. He doesn't. Invalid lap. No, he does. It's a 1:51.2. So sitting second position at the moment. Stephen Varga is the man in command out there in the Quantum liveried V8 supercar Camaro as well. Beautiful looking livery, that one. Stephen Varga, our season 1 champion. there in the Gen 3. So he's got his hands full here with a couple of speedy boys chiming in Season 2. So we're going to put him to the test this time as Tim Nicol goes and eclipses him with a 150.220. Goes straight to the top of the timing tree. We've got 4 minutes. We've got almost 5 minutes to go in this opening qualifying session. But it is a 2-lap shootout. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. You get one chance, you get two chances, and that's it. Carl Brittingham is on a bit of a flying lap as well. We're going to see how he's looking there. His first lap was a 150. No, nothing. Hasn't set a time yet, so we're going to find out just how quick he is once he gets across the line here, going through turn 10 in the Camaro. Get your comments in, folks. Who what V8 supercar is your favourite? Is it Ford or is it Camaro? Chevy? I don't know. I think the Mustang is my favourite, but that remains to be seen as Gray Ward goes up into the top 11 there with the 152.9. Tidy stuff there from Mr. Gray Ward. He'll be absolutely giving it out there, that's for sure. Jerry Marshall, is that Jesse or Harley there? He says he got a 151 dead but hit the wall. 151 dead. That would have got you up there off the second row provisionally now at the moment, but there's plenty of laps to come in this qualifying session, so don't you worry about that. Where's Logan Howard? He's just pulling it over. Looks like he's done for qualifying, folks. 151.1 is as best he can do in this one, so he'll start off the second row, and everyone departing the server. Tim Nicol could be the man to take first blood here in round 2. 150.2 is the time to beat, folks. He is your round 2 pole sitter. Beautiful stuff. Is there anyone out there circulating around still? It looks like everyone's pulled it up, folks. That's about it. Going through all the names, there's a couple of them still getting around. I think that's Dean Summerall. But that is the end of his session as well. Pulls it over a 158.6. So 8 seconds off the pace there for poor old Dino. He's got some catching up to do during the race. But, each lap you're out there, it's a lap of experience. It's a lap of confidence gaining. That's what you need to do, folks. And you can, you start at the bottom. You can only go one way. And that's where he's going. Or at least hoping to. The only way is up. Baby. Enough of that. There'll be no more singing there. Any updates, any race updates from the AK Boyos? Says the Duff Man. I've got no idea. You'll have to ask in the Discord over there. But I don't know. Last time I saw there was not much going on. So if you want some racing, come and join us over at Simsational TV. The Discord link is in the description below. We've got racing up the bloody wazoo over there. And if it's, as they say, sometimes too much sim racing is not even enough. So if you're a glutton for punishment and want more, there's plenty of leagues that we get involved with here, one of which is on your screen right now, Aussie Sim Racing. The link for those guys is in the description as well. Get involved if you're iRacing inclined, I suppose. If you're into that kind of punishment, there's certainly a lot on offer there. We do GT3s on a Tuesday night. Coming up is a wet race from Zandvoort. It's going to be an absolute belter. Had a little turn of that as well. I tell you what, the old GT3s in the rain are a bit of a handful, no matter how much traction control you put on there. But we will see how the boys go out there in the wet. But before we get to that, we've got 2 red-hot races coming at you tonight. 30 minutes each. Tim Nicol off pole position with Stephen Varga on his outside. That's going to be a race down to turn 1. Who can get the jump? And you don't really want to be going too wide through the S's. As we've seen, the limit of grip on these things, there it is there, as you go up the hill, is right on the low side. As we've seen that on that first lap from Shelton as well, getting nice and acquainted with the outside wall there at turn 3. And it comes up at you fast, folks, and by the time you've sort of figured it out that you're going to hit it, it's probably too late. You need to get on the old anchors, and once you do that, you've absolutely compromised your run down the back straight and to the inner loop. So I think we might even see that as one of the main overtaking spots here tonight, folks, into the inner loop. the chicane at the end of the back straight. Might see a few little moves up the inside there. Where else? I think down into turn 9 maybe. A few little dips up the inside. If you can hold steady through the heel, you'll be going well to have a little dip up there. Turn 1, obviously, it's a bit tougher because that wide apron there on the exit really invites a bit of tomfoolery too. But the iRacing game sorts it out because they make you slow down, and that is not ideal for anyone because it really makes you slow down quite a bit more than you would have gained on the old cut anyway. So it's fantastic. We've got 3 sleeps to the Wednesday Cup as well. Yeah, absolutely. Tomato Motorsport plugging the old Wednesday Cup. That kicks off again on Wednesday. Season 19 actually coming towards you, so that's going to be an absolute ball terror. Here's the opening grid, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Nicol and Stephen Varga off the first row. Howard and Shelton behind them. Then we've got Simpson and Cook off the third row. Then we've got Mead and Sarella off the fourth. Then we've got Curran and Smith off the fifth row. Then Brennan and Brock Clark off the sixth row. Behind them we've got Ward and Rogers. Then Senior Rogers, Ash Rogers and Wayne Rogers are father and son, folks. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good yarn either. Carl Brittingham off the 16th position. Then we've got Potter waving his magic wand back there in 17th position with Georgeson next to him. Jay Connor, Jason Hutchins. Then we've got Jansen, Sykes, Summerall and Patterson rounding out the top 24. Are there more? There are 2 more. Kobe Marshall and Jade Andrews as well. Rounding out the field, folks. We are ready to go racing. They are sitting on the grid now, gridded up, ready to go. Look at that. Marvellous sight, folks. We get the timing tower sorted out with intervals. We're going to see all the action rounding out soon. We've got half an hour of racing coming up. Get your predictions in the chat. Can Tim Nicol hold on? Can Logan Howard find something out of nowhere? Can Shelton do pull another rabbit out of the hat? But we're about to go racing here, folks. The lights are out, and now there's smoke flying and Gen 3 cars splaying across the track. There's action at the back there. There's an absolute car park at the back. Who's around? It looks like Summerall, Simpson are involved as well. Absolute carnage at the back, but we'll go to the front because it's nose to tail racing. Tim Nichols leads the race with Stephen Varga in behind him, sitting in the slipstream up the S's for the first time. These two guys are teammates, so possibly on the comms saying, let's just try and build a little gap here before we start to get into the old papaya rules. Logan Howard sitting there in third in no man's land at the moment with Shelton about 8 tenths behind him. But look at this. Cook's trying to square him up on the way in. Tries to get that job done in the Kmart car, but it's Sorella in the Kmart car looking there very menacingly as well. And here is Sorella on the back of Cookie here as well, looking quite racy at these opening stanza. Let's ride on board as they go down the hill now for the first time in through turn 6. This is tight racing here, folks. Down here it's going off. Look at this. Brock Clark just getting overtaken there by Jay Connor as well in the look at that, in the Red Bull livery. Beautiful stuff there as well. Jay Connor on the move, looking up the inside there of Potter, gets the job done. Expelliarmus, he says, up the inside and gets a turnaround for his business as well. This is absolute carnage here, and they will not be happy about that. Jay Connor will be putting that one into the steward's box straight away. Not happy with it. I'm just going to stay out of that, and I'll leave that one to the stewards. But up in front and looking pretty good up there is Tim Nichols with Stephen Varga just sitting in behind him as well. In third position, Logan Howard looking out there and just in no man's land still, really. He doesn't have anything to worry about at the moment. Ryan Shelton in fourth position. He started in fourth position last week, folks, and managed to get his way up into the podium position. So looking good there, and obviously very good in race trim. Here goes Cookie in the Kmart livery. Look at that. It's an iconic livery, folks. And there is lightning outside. Oh, goodness me. That is not good. And we just had a little bit of a brownout here as well. That's if the stream goes down, folks, there is nothing I can do. Trust me, I've done everything in my power to keep this stream on tonight, driving all the way up to the sunny coast. But look at this, Ben Mead just peeling out of the slipstream there of Sorella, showing the nose into the chicane section, not far enough along, so he just gets out of that and decides to give himself a little bit of a breather there as well. And fair enough, because it's a scary place to go searching for an overtake. Don't you worry about that. Down here, Potter though, side by side with Jansen through the S's there. Sorry, through the chicane. The inner loop chicane, should I say. And Potter just looking a little bit sheepish there after that incident. Oh, look at this. Georgeson and Brennan a little bit sideways there. Maybe a little bit of a contact between the Mustangs too. No one's slowing down, and it's racing on as you were, gentlemen, doing the Lord's work out there as well. Georgeson just missing the apex, having a little bit of an apex allergy, as they call it. But here's Curran and Andrews right side by side, folks. Let's get a better view as they go down into turn 7. This is a nice little move there from Ethan Curran. Gets the job done. Andrews looking for a switchback, but there's no way you can get that going. Hey, Tomato, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Absolutely appreciated. Thank you so kindly, sir. Up in front, though, Cookie's peeling out and going into the pit lane. He says he's had enough there. I don't know why he'd be doing that. I think he's pulling it up and, leaving the server. No, getting back in. Who knows what's going on there, folks, but here goes Brennan. He's chiming in on Brittingham in front. The gap's only about 3/10 here at the moment. Up in front, though, look at that. Kobe Marshall, whoa, up the inside of Patterson. These two are going to try and go side by side up the S's. Oh, it's not the wisest idea, and Patterson just has to yield and let Marshall through. Kobe on the move. He started down the back, and he is absolutely flying here at the moment. Patterson just trying to hold steady and keep that gap. Oh, no, up in front, there's been a huge accident. Ben Mead's been turned around. This is, oh, no, that's a big move there as well. It looked like Roger Smith, someone was involved in that little incident. We just caught it late, but maybe we've got we do have the replay. Let's go and check this out, folks. What has happened? Looks like Ben Mead. That's not Ben Mead. Here he is. Oh, no. Turned around, and Mead just coming through, trying to get off the circuit and collect it on the way through. So that's not ideal, but he'll be back. He'll be back fighting fit soon enough. As you can see, he's already up behind Brittingham now, giving him the old flash, maybe just showing the nose, looking for the move down into turn 7, the toe. Here he goes, up alongside, just enough of an overlap and just squeezes his way through. Thank you very much, he says. Easy enough overtake, but it's going to take a bit of work to get back to where he was prior to the incident. Georgeson and Curran going hard here at the moment. Looks like Curran just having the pace to dive around the outside and keeping that position there off Wade Georgeson, who's looking pretty feisty tonight indeed. Woo! What an opening 5 minutes, folks. It's absolutely flying. It's actually a 40-minute race. Okay, so we've got an extra 10 minutes onto that one, but that's okay. As we said, more sim racing is good for everyone. I'll keep that one in the old hat. But Tim Nicol enjoying the biggest lead he's had so far, 6/10 over his teammate Stephen Varga at the moment. And those two guys just happy, I think, to set the pace and try and build a big gap there to Logan Howard, as you can see in the background, just chiming in as well. He's about 2 seconds the difference back to him. And then there's this nice little battle pack here, headed off by Grey Ward. And then there's the two in front of him, actually. So it starts at Ash Rogers and goes all the way down to Stuart Patterson. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars there having a good old crack. And there's Grey Ward just travelling slowly. I think maybe this could be a redress situation or something, or a missed gear or something. He just seemed to drop down through the order like a stone there at the moment in the old Speed Nation entry. But now it's race on, and him and Patterson will go side by side almost. He's trying to stick it fat around the outside at the toe, but doesn't have the big toe far enough along there, does Grey Ward. Let's ride on board with Grey and see if he can make a move down here into turn 7. This is the toe. Can he get the toe? Can he get the suck down the main straight? And it looks like Patterson's just gone a little bit wide there, inviting Grey Ward just a little bit closer now, up into turn 9. Whoa, it's a little bit of a lock up there from Ward as well. I think his eyes just lit up at the fact there that the door was just left ajar, and didn't take much for the old cobber to get his nose up there and brake a bit too late and get the old smoke signals pouring out the old rubber tyres there. Jacob Smith, though, right up the back here of Ash Rogers. You can see he is, it's Kobe Marshall on the back of him, should I say, and he's just on the charge here. Kobe Marshall, absolutely flying here at the moment, doing what his last lap was a 1:52. He's 2 seconds clear, or 2 seconds faster than these guys in front of him too. So he's just picking them off one by one. We can see he's got Jacob Smith in his sights here, and just a nice little exit here as well, and got the suck and got the run. Weaving which way and that on the Fanta car. It's going to be absolutely balls to the wall here through the chicane, right up under the rear wing too of that Mustang, and giving him plenty as well. Absolute, well, he's on an absolute charge here, is the Marshall man. Here he is. Ron Marshall, you got a third son as well involved in the iRacing leagues. If not, yeah, got to get the old adoption papers out and take him on. He's doing fantastic as well, and maybe needs a motorsport general manager, team captain. We'll see. We'll see how he goes here. But I'll tell you what, Jacob Smith doing a good job so far of holding him off. But for how long can he do so? We're going to find out. He just peels out of the slipstream, showing the nose now. Here we go. Into turn 7, showing the nose. Whoa. Just deploying the dummy there, and the Fanta car's gone wide, trying to gather it up, and that's just left the door open. Oh, cuts across the nose too. Very ambitious stuff there. The Jacob Smith in the Fanta car just holding on for dear life here at the moment and losing touch with Ash Rogers in front. We saw just a lap ago, all these cars were only separated by a couple of tenths, but now Jacob Smith in full defense mode is just leaking time here as well, backing up Marshall into Patterson. And here goes Marshall now. He's had an absolute gutful of this. He says, right, I'm peeling out and I'm going for it now. I've got just a little bit of an overlap, just need to modulate on the brakes, get it turned in, hit that apex, and it looks like Smith's going to lose 2 here as well. Maybe a little slowdown with Sarella coming up behind as well. He will get the run through the S's too. This is a maybe a little bit of paint swapping there from the pink to the orange. If you're a painter out there, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not too sure what color you get when you mix pink and orange together, but I'm sure it's a nice little color there in the old color spectrum. Anyway, painting time with Bob Ross. Coming up right after Sensational TV's broadcast here tonight, folks. Back here, though, Michael Brennan giving Grey Ward a fair bit of a hurry up here, too. The 2 Mustangs. Nose to tail. Oh, look at this. Goes for the dive down there into the chute. Oh. Half and half, side by side here as well. The Vortex car giving Grey Ward plenty, but Wardy just holding it fat around the outside and manages to hold on to that position now as well. But let's ride on board with Michael Brennan and see how he can pick apart the defences of Grey Ward there in front. Very close, but now just giving up the ghost just a little bit on that time around, and that gap now stretching out to 4 tenths, so he won't be able to do anything about it just yet. So we're going to go down the order here because Jansen and Connor are battling it out, but Connor just getting through on the inside, easy as you like. David Jansen maybe even just sidestepping the Red Bull car there that time and saying, you know what, my fight isn't with you, son. You go ahead, and we'll catch up to that later on. Grey Ward, though, getting hounded again by Michael Brennan. You can see how close they are on the track. And look who's chiming in from behind. Ben Mead on the comeback. Here goes Brennan up beside Grey Ward now into turn 1. He's going to have this job done well before the braking zone, and that's how you do it, folks. The old textbook overtake 101. You get it done on the straight before you get into the braking zone. But look at this. Mead and Ward side by side through the S's. Ward trying to hang it fat around the outside. Mead just sticking to his racing line. Getting across the nose there of Grey Ward. He loses 2 positions in just as many corners. And going back to the drawing board, really, is Grey Ward down there in 12th position. But if there's anyone who gives up the bloody fight, mate, it's Grey Ward. So don't you worry about him. Up in front, though, Ash Rogers, Kobe Marshall, and Stuart Patterson, nose to tail, human centipede style, going around. And look at this. Ash Rogers now has got his hands full with Kobe Marshall on the absolute comeback trail. Started down in 25th position. He's gained 19 positions, folks, and he's about to make it 20 as he goes up the inside. Ash Rogers, I think, knows what was coming and gets right out of the way and says, you know what, this isn't my fight. The fight I've got is with this bloke behind me, which is Stuart Patterson. And look at that. He's had a brilliant run going down the boot, looking into the heel now. This is a nice little overtaking opportunity, you would say. Brendan Hark chiming in, saying 50-50 orange and pink makes coral pink. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. A bit of sensational trivia there. Keep that one in the old bank. Coral pink, that might be leaning towards a salmon colour as well. Who knows? But we'll get to... It's colour time here at Sensational TV. We've got Bob Ross chiming in later on, and happy accidents are what we're all about here at Sensational TV. The battle's on, though, however, for 22nd position. We've got Dean Summerall there, and Mitchell Sykes just getting the job done there. I don't know what Summerall was doing. Maybe sidestepping as well, keeping that safety rating up and doing a good job of it. Up in front, though, look at this. The battle for the lead just starting to heat up a little bit with Stephen Varga chiming in on the back, on the rear wing of his teammate, Tim Nicol in front. That gap is down to 2/10 and teetering in and out of that. Very, very close on track, as you can see visually. These two guys, I think, have built enough of a lead now over the rest of the field. It's 3.5 seconds back to Logan Howard and then another 6 back to Shelton as well. I think now the team orders over the racing comms have been, no, it's time to go racing, folks, and now it is, because Stephen Varga doing his best to maybe just put off Tim Nicol there in front. You won't see any crazy moves here from Stephen Varga as well. It was the way... It's the way he won that championship last season as well, folks. He was just clean and methodical all the way through, doing his best job. And making it rain in the old championships points department. But let's chime in and see what he does here. Actually pulls into the pit, so this must be a mandatory stop race, ladies and gentlemen. So he'll be peeling into the pit lane here as well to serve his mandatory pit lane obligation. So we'll see that maybe the undercut in action. He was quicker out there on track. You could see he was maybe just being held up by his teammates. So just opting to get out of the battle, and a fair assessment too by Varga. We'll see where he comes out of the pits as well. Just finding his pit box now, actually. So maybe losing a little bit of time there as well. But we'll see when Tim Nicol comes in to see if that... undercut has made a difference, but we'll see. It remains to be seen, folks. We'll see how that goes. Brittingham, however, on the back, as Varga has come out of the pits now and is just ahead of Brittingham on track, and he's got a little bit of clear air in front. There's one car there in the Snowy River colours, but just getting out of the way as well. I think that might be Dean Summerall, the old blue flagger as well. So easy times there for Varga. And look at that, clear track in front of him, really. Time to put the hammer down. Hammer time, as they say. And Grey Ward there on track for position as well. So we know Wardy, he's not going to give that position away easily, knowing that this is technically for position, even though it's not his fight indeed. We'll just see what happens here as well. If Wardy does the right thing. He does. Look at that. Just sidesteps him as well. Beautiful stuff. Oh, and Tomato Motorsport as well. Into the old... into the old 99 cents department. Thank you very much. We're going to get some game sound as well, because that's what we don't have, folks. Let me just figure that out, where that is coming from. Should be coming from there. No game sound for now, but we'll get that sorted out in the break. Let's see if we can try that one. Is that going to work? Nope, still no sound. Oh, that's not ideal, folks. Let's try that one. 2, 1, 2. Still none. Okay, let me look at that in the break, folks. But for now, let's enjoy the non-sounds while I have just a small break. And we're back, folks. Just a slight little technical difficulty there with the game sound. We're going to get that sorted out in the break. But until then, the racing is still happening up in front. We've got Jacob Smith and Ben Mead and Brennan actually just blinking in and out of existence there. That's got to be disconcerting for all involved. Seeing some connection issues there for Brennan. But look at him just chasing down Ben Mead at the moment. But Ben Mead we saw earlier getting into that little incident, you could call it, where he was parked on the wrong side of the road. Not ideal for him, but on the comeback trail. And he's got the Fanta liveried car there right in front of him. Oh, look at that. Crosses the track there to make it hard for him. It's going to be very hard for him indeed, because that Fanta car of Jacob Smith is certainly tasting good at the moment, looking good as well. As love that stuff that's all happening here, folks. Ben Mead, though, trying to maybe just force Jacob Smith into a little bit of a mistake here. It's all you can do, folks. When you get up to the pointy end of some of these racing leagues, you're not going to be able to force an overtake too often, and you're not going to have them make a mistake into your lap. So what you really need to do is try to get on their nerves, try to distract them in some way to put them off their game. And just a small micro mistake into one corner can mean that you're just a little bit closer on the exit of the next, and you can just pull alongside, give them something to think about, a little dummy or something to just put them off their game. But looks as if both of these cars are now peeling into the pit lane, so they will resume their battle once they come back out. Both of them, all three of them actually as well. Logan Howard pulling into the pits as well. Ryan Shelton now taking over the lead of the race, still yet to serve his pit stop, as well as Patterson and Brennan. But everyone back behind them. It looks as if Tim Nicol has made his pit stop and has been undercut by Stephen Varga, who is now in the net lead of the race. 1.2 seconds back as well. So that was a firing little outlap and preceding laps for Stephen Varga. Gets the job done in the pits. That's what we like to see, folks. If you can't get the job done out there on circuit, think about it strategy-wise. And I think in a lot of the sim world, the undercut is always strong, because you can just get out there on the fresh boots, put in 2 or 3 good laps, and by the time your enemy, your challenger comes into the pits, you've already gained 2 or 3 seconds on them. So an easy way to get that job done for all those playing at home. Got the Harkster in the chat says, reminds me of that year in the American F1 race. Meow, meow, meow. Yeah, you got to make up the sounds, folks. Exactly right. Still trying in the meantime to get that. Maybe it's this one. Let's try that. No game sound. Absolute rubbish in the old broadcasting department, but we will get that fixed up in the break. Any battles out there on circuit? It is Brittingham and John Simpson in front of him. Both are yet to pit as well, so they'll probably be thinking about making their pit stop as we just click over to half race distance now. Stuart Patterson has now chimed into the pits, and here goes Brittingham just slowing down, getting himself ready for a pit stop. He comes in, and we've pretty much seen the whole field except for Shelton out there in front. His last lap was a 52.2, and the 2 leaders are out there doing 1 minute 50s. 1 minute 50.1, mind you, last lap there from Tim Nicol. So he's flying 2 seconds faster than Ryan Shelton out there on the old tyre. So it's probably time, Ryan, to come in, get those new boots on there and try and just make back some of the ground that you are losing here on every single corner as the leaders just stretch their lead out in front with better tyres and better pace. But he will have the advantage of better tyres. We'll have that tyre delta at the end of the race, but perhaps the damage is done before we get there. Here's the championship leader, folks. And the way to build a championship defence as well is just try to... Oh, another little skip there as well in the old power department. It's all happening here, folks. Hope the power stays on. Got me fingers, got me toes, got me balls crossed. It's all happening. We'll see. We're all good from the from the from the popcorn section. It's all happening. Here we go. Stephen Varga on the back now of Brennan. They're both racing for position, but as we saw earlier, Brennan has not come into the pits yet, so he will be very slow in comparison to Varga, around about 3 seconds on that last time around. So here we go. There goes Brennan into the pits, and Varga is released with Tim Nicol just in tow there by about 6/10. Not too far, so he can just stay in touch there and maybe launch some sort of defense later on in the race. As we said, only going just over half race distance here tonight. So Tim Nicol actually getting a bit closer there during that first little sector. And look at that exit he's got there through the S's and up the hill. That gap is just teetering on the edge of about 3/10 and getting ever so closer into the 2/10 range now as he gets the old American sucked down the back lane, down into the boot or the inner loop section of this track. It's a fun little course on these cars. I'll tell you what, they're very conducive to this kind of fast and flowing circuit. A hell of a lot of fun, absolutely. Looking forward to getting involved one day. But this is the closest battle on the track, folks. 5/10 in it now. You can see Varga just putting on the afterburners in that second sector, really doing himself a mischief there. Let's see the time delta between these two guys as well. We've got, we need that one there. Varga and Nichols. You can see the gap, about 6/10. And here's their lap times over the last couple. Shelton out in front, but doing about 52s. And then we've got Nicol and Varga both, look at that, 2 seconds on lap 11 quicker. So you lose about, you lose about 30 seconds there going into the pits, including your out lap. So, and in lap, sorry. So it's a fair amount of time in the pits. Down here, we've got Georgeson and Brittingham. Georgeson up forward positions down there in 14th posse. Look out the back. You can see that the number 66 just getting ever so closer. Doing a good job is Brittingham in the Camaro as well. But Georgeson in the Aussie Sim Racing livery, and a beautiful one at that. I do love the contrasting colours there of black and yellow. Doing a good job, just holding off. And he's got to do that for the next 15 minutes, folks. So this race has gone quite fast as well. And now you can see in the background, Jay Connor just chiming in as well, getting closer to the back of these two. And the more that they battle, they're going to just bring more and more into the fray. We've got Brock Clark back there. Oh, big moment there from Jay Connor. But he's chiming in, and it was actually Brittingham with the big moment, big sideways moment there as well, as the blue flag waves again for Summerall. Good to see him out there, but doing his last lap around was a 2-minute 2. So about 10 seconds off the pace of the front runners. But it's good to see him out there gaining experience, gaining lap time, hopefully. or taking off lap time, should I say. But look at this. Jay Connor, though, firing here late on lap whatever we're at. We're 26 minutes into this race, and the Red Bull car looks fantastic out there on circuit and hounding him now, looking up the inside, looking around the outside through the chicane, and giving him nothing to think about here as well, just right up the arse of Carl Brittingham now. And I don't know what Brittingham's going to have to do. Maybe just wave the white flag here for this one. You can't possibly survive for another 15, 14 minutes as well with this kind of onslaught happening in your rearview mirror. But why we go sim racing, folks. That's what it's all about. A little bit of FUN. Tell you what, if there's any contact, you'll be leaving out the N in that little section. Oh, looking for a dive up the inside. Maybe a little lock up there from Connor as well. Gets it going again, and that gap out to about 3/10. As you can see, the debris flying up as Wade Georgeson takes a little bit more than the track desires out there into the old, the bunda, we call it. But look at that, Brittingham just across the inside curve. That's a big mistake. That's going to encourage Connor up beside him now into turn 9. Oh, it's a tough turn to try and hang it fat around the outside, but he's going to try it anyway. If he can get to that outside run, we can see from the chopper cam, they are side by side. And look at this, Jay Connor sweeping across the nose, getting that job done on Brittingham up into 15th position. Great overtake there, but look at that, Brittingham just missing his braking marker, going in very fast to that turn and coming out very slow indeed. The opposite of what you want to do, folks. Slow in, fast out is the name of the game in just about any car you race, not only in real life but in the sim, and Gen 3s are no exception to that. Maybe even more important to that rule, as they're not very good on the front end, so you come in as slow as you can and try and get that exit. It's all about the exit, folks. But now that Connor is free of the grips of Brittingham, and he's laying down the lap time. But as I say that, Brittingham's coming back, and that gap's just holding steady at about 3/10. And right on board there with Brittingham too, just to see if he's getting any closer visually. Up in front there's another lapped car. I'm not too sure which car that is, but we're going to see if that plays a part here in letting Carl just get up behind Jay Connor again. We might see it, folks, but there's also a little battle happening up the front there with Ben Mead just getting clear of Michael Brennan here at the moment. Oh, big slide there from Brennan, so that just releases the shackles on Benny Mead. And he's back to where he started, folks. He's P7. He started P7. He was down as far as 20-odd, I think, after his big off earlier on in the race. Gets the comeback trail on. And the next race, folks, is a 3-lap reverse grid sprint race to set the grid for race 2. So that is going to be exciting as all buggery. Down here, we got John Simpson. And in front of him, Ethan Curran getting the good old hurry up there from the Mustang. Look at that. Just send it down into turn 1. Full commitment. A little bit of contact. A little bit of smoke coming out the back there from Simpson as well. Could not control the car enough to pull it up and get any kind of good release out of turn 1. So that has, in turn, released Curran from the old pressure valve. And off he goes up the road by about 4/10 here at the moment. Ben Mead, though, is still getting hounded there by Michael Brennan. We're right on board with Michael Brennan because he's been pretty good. He's up 3 spots from where he started in 11th position. But up the front, there's a couple of guys, actually. Stuart Patterson and Kobe Marshall, both up 19 positions. That's incredible. Incredible work by both of those guys. Fantastic to see. But yeah, look at the wheel work there from Brennan, just trying to keep it smooth, showing the nose here. I don't know if he will fully commit to the move there, as Mead saw him coming, just casually goes about his business. But what about the mid-corner speed there from Brennan? A slight little overcorrection. Whoa, nice little early braking manoeuvre there from Mead, keeping Brennan on his toes. You can see the brown stain moment there about to happen as well. Brennan having to really get on the wheel and work that thing, Missy Elliott style. But the battle continues now on the 30th minute of this race. 10 to go, folks. Got Jay Connor and Carl Brittingham getting a bit closer. Up the front, it's Varga leading from Tim Nicol, and that gap has just been about the same this whole race now, about 2 to 3 tenths every time I look up. So we'll just see if these guys can come to a head and Tim Nicol can launch some kind of attack towards the end of the race. It looks like he's starting to get a little bit pacey. He does have the advantage of maybe a 2-lap delta on the tyres, so he will have a better feeling rubber underneath him come towards the end of this race. But we'll see. The master out there in front, Stephen Varga, has spent plenty of time in front in these cars in this series previous in season 1. So he's no stranger to being out there on his own. But look at these two. Oh, a little bit of neck coating, a little bit of connection issues there from Ben Mead. We saw him blinking in and out of existence through the old Harry Potter porthole there at Oxford Street Station or wherever it is. But around the outside, looks Brennan. It's a tight radius turn there. You'd have to be really flying to be able to get that job done around the outside style. But now they go side by side, looking from the chopper cam. Is there enough of an overlap really late on the brakes as Brennan, loses traction on the rear. Bit of a compression lock up there as well. Let's Mead back through, and they will go battling again. Look at that. Just late dives here. I don't think Brennan's going to be sticking around here for too long. He looks as if, that's not what you want to see in front, folks, especially when you've got about a 2/10 gap in front and you see the car blinking all over the place. That is certainly disconcerting for all involved. You feel like just getting out of the throttle because you don't know if they're going to reappear inside your car and just wreck you or whatever else is going to happen. So Brennan just proving he's got the big old testes, and here he goes again up into turn 1, just slides it up the inside. Beautiful overtake there. I tell you what, these two guys trading positions like they're trading Pokemon cards in bloody grade 7 here at the moment. And now Mead on the blink again, and look at that, right up, giving him the hurry up through the S's, now into the back straight. Got the old suck here at Americana Land going hard, but now Michael Brennan just putting on the afterburners and stretching that gap out to 4/10. It's a nice little gap. That's all you need here, folks. You can win by an inch or a mile, as some person said in some movie sometime in life. But you only need to win by a little bit. But this is the battle for P7. Michael Brennan currently occupies it. Ben Mead doing his best, and these guys have swapped positions a couple of times in the last few laps as well. Exciting stuff indeed. Down here, we can't turn away because now look at this. It's Mead on the attack. He's got that gap down to 2/10 as well, and it looks as if no one wants this. They're playing leapfrog here as well. Jay Connor's had a bit of an accident. Let's go back and have a look at what's happened there. Here he goes down into turn 1 by the looks. And loses it on the curb. Gets collected by Georgeson on the way through. And now that is disaster for the 117. Gets it parked back out on the race. But big damage there from him, I'm sure, and not ideal for his campaign here in race 2. Or in round 2, should I say. We'll get to it, folks. It's all happening. Poor old Jay Connor. He was going well too. Down there he was up a bit further, probably in 12th or 13th position, should I say. But now he's dropped his way down to 17th. Still better than where he started, but look at Brennan just sliding across the track. I don't think Mead's too happy with it. Almost a little massive contact, pushes him off the circuit. The race is over, folks. Thought it was a 40-minute race, but then anyway, Stephen Varga does the old WIN. I've done it again, folks. Too much happening here, but Stephen Varga takes out race 1. Tim Nicol in P2. We've got Howard in P3 with Shelton in P4. Patterson crossing the line in P5. Kobe Marshall with 19 positions under his belt. So does Patterson, actually. Both of those guys with 19 positions carving their way through the field. Brennan in 7th. Mead and Rogers with Sarella rounding out the top 10. Goodness gracious me, folks. It's going to be just a little gap here now in between the next qualifying session. So I'm going to go to a few words from our sponsors, and we will get the sound back on the old racing stakes in just a moment. But until then, go and refill your drinks, and we're going to be back very shortly with qualifying 2, I believe. So let's get into it. All right, we're back, folks, and this is the 3-lap scramble for qualifying. Let's go racing again. Cook off the front with Rogers and Summerall next to him, and look at that. It's an absolute splay of cars out there as they all come cruising down into turn 1. They're 4 and 5 wide out through the back of the field. There's surely bound to be contact here. There's cars being pushed off the circuit. Sorella going down the order as well. Just getting back on the circuit. Let's get a top view as we can see them just jostling. Look at that, Sorella around the outside now, looking up the inside of Marshall. A little bit of contact. Oh no, Sorella's taken out. Oh no, there goes Howard with him, or Potter. I'm not too sure who it is, but now they all just pile up, and that's there's debris everywhere all over the circuit. Goodness gracious me! Oh, look at that absolute car park, ladies and gentlemen. Wowee, what a start to this one. Look at this. We've got Hutchins now. He's got Kobe Marshall on the back. This is an absolutely insane start, folks. It's a 10-minute battle here, but goodness me, what has just happened there? All it takes in these opening stanzas of these races is just a little bit of a tap and rub, as we saw there, the culprit. I'm not going to say who the culprit is, but dead set. Now the game sounds too loud. There we go. Now we're back, folks. We got the sound of the V8s roaring around. Gray Ward and who's that? Jade Andrews, side by side now, going up the chute. Gray Ward pulling out of it actually, and going slowly now. There goes Jade Andrews up there in to P4. Down here we've got Hutchins and Brittingham side by side as they go into the turn. Nope, getting the job done is Hutchins. Everyone now just being a little bit more cautious and maybe just going a little bit slow. What is going on here? We've got a safety car on track. What's happening? I think possibly a safety car here. Here goes Cookie, though, out there in front. Maybe just catching up to the safety car. No idea what's going on here, folks. Some cars going slow, some going fast. These guys going slow. So maybe a safety car out there on circuit. Has to be. Has to be. But Cookie now, yes, catching up to the safety car. Wowee, folks. What a start to that race. We can now go back and look at what happened there. If we can. There was quite a few crashes happening there. We'll start with this one. Jay Connor. This might even be going back to the previous. No, he's just going very slowly. We're going to have to go back even further, folks, to find out what happened at the race start there. That was insane. Yeah, here it is, Sorella. So we'll start there because that's what we caught on the stream. Spinning out and just absolute carnage. Oh my goodness. Everyone involved, front wings flying off. Not a great start to the race for those guys. They'll be looking to get some of that damage fixed up. And I'll tell you what, great free kick to some of these guys at the front here. Cookie, Rogers, Andrews, Hutchins, even Curran, Ward. Pretty much that top 10 advantage played. I'll tell you what, this guy here, Kobe Marshall's already made up 12 positions, got through the absolute craziness there. And I think we're racing again, folks. Here we go. Rogers out in Cookie. No, they're just racing around to catch up to this safety car, because that has caused some massive big gaps. So these guys trying to chime in as quickly as possible, because we've only got, we're at half race distance now already. So we're just finding out how long we've got to go. Not long indeed. So they all want to be back behind the safety car and doing it in a quick fashion, because not much left of this race. So this guy, you got to have your money on this fella here at the moment. Up 12 positions and looking racy as ever tonight. He'll be right up there when it comes to the restart. And look at that car going through, just missing the entire front end. Trying to get back to the pits and get that repaired before they go racing again. Let's go up the front, because the safety car's still there, still lights on, still weaving. They might have to go around one more time, Daft Punk style. to get everyone back into the pits and into their orders and blue flags, unlapping themselves, whatever happens here. See, that looks like the pace car's staying out, so we're going to have one more lap under safety car conditions, folks. Wowee, what a start to that race. So many cars, so many cars now peeling into the pit lane to get that damage fixed. I don't know if it's worth it in a very short race like this. I think there'll only be maybe 1 or 2 more green light racing laps. So, I mean, if you commit yourself to the pit lane, you're going to be last anyway, I assume. There's just no way around it, and you're going to have to try and catch back up to the field. Once they go racing again, that's not going to happen, but I tell you what, if you've got a bit of damage and you're still just holding it fat in there, you've probably got a better chance. But who am I to say that a few of those cars are very much broken and possibly undrivable anyway, so you, I guess you make that call on the run. Greg Cook leads. Wayne Rogers in second position with Andrews up there in third. Jason Hutchins in fourth. Curran in fifth. Jansen in sixth. Gray Ward up there in seventh. Connor and Potter and Georgeson round out your top 10. And then the rest of the field streaming through as well. See the guys just getting their pit lane sorted out. Looks like from about 19th down to 26th. All had to service a pit stop there as well. Not ideal for those guys. And time is running out. 3 minutes to go. We might even have just one more lap of racing once these guys get around. James Harden says, "What up, Zach?" I don't know. You'll have to ring him and ask him. My name, ladies and gentlemen, is Chris Munro. And I'm calling all the action here solo tonight and on location. I'm up there in the old... I'm up there in the old part of the world where it's supposed to be sun shining, but I think there is a storm bearing down on us quite soon. Surely we're going racing soon enough, folks. This could be finishing this race under safety car conditions. And if you're in the old FIA mafia conspiracy theory mode, you cannot possibly end a race under safety car conditions, depending on who is leading that race and the championship at the time. But that's another story. Lewis Hamilton, 8-time world championship winner. Oops, I said it there, folks. But let's get back to the racing here, because they're rounding out to the near end of this lap. We might see the lights off and the pace car just bugger off up the street here. And it will be all down to Cook and maybe one more lap. Final shootout. I think we might see some fireworks here, folks. So strap yourselves in, because this could anything could happen here. There's a few feisty customers down there in the mid pack as well, all jostling for position, trying to get their way up a little bit further on the grid. It looks like the pace car is going around again. Oh goodness me, we are going to finish under pace car, ladies and gents. I don't know if there's enough time to get around one more time. Safety car leading the bunch, so Greg Cook might be your winner, folks. Depending on the pace of this safety car, I don't know if we're going to get around before the 10-minute mark, so that is a little bit of an anticlimax, ladies and gentlemen out there. Obviously, the brown paper bag wasn't passed to the old race control team before the pit safety car came out. And said, you know what, we're just going to circulate around, and away we go. We'll finish the race under safety car conditions. Greg Cook is your leader at the moment. Wayne Rogers sits there in second. Wade Georgeson in P3, up 10 positions as well, so he had a very fortuitous start to that one. Looks like the pace car slowing right down, bunching them up. Are we going to get half a lap's worth of racing? What is going on here, folks? I think they might even be doing that. They're going to bunch these field up, and we might even see the Porsche Cup car just disappear now and let them go racing for half a lap. Would be it would be even more disastrous, I think, for the field. You'd be flipping a coin whether you're going to get through on that one. Jeremy Bond says, that's all, folks. Yibbity yibbita. Give it the old the old Rex Hunt treatment there. I think you're correct as we click over on the 10-minute mark. That's it, folks, for qualifying 2. Greg Cook is your pole sitter for race 2. And the cars are just sort of sorting themselves out, sorting the orders out too. I think this is a race director's nightmare going on in the background. In the back scenes, we've got cars just sort of jostling for position here under safety car conditions. What the hell is going on, folks? I have no idea. I just call the action as I see it here on the telly, and it's an absolute cluster buggery here at the moment. There goes Georgeson, looking to maybe overtake the pace car here at the moment, because he needs to be up there in the, well, in P2, I believe he was. Yeah, he's trying to sort that out. Oh, this is a logistical nightmare, folks. The lights are out on the safety car, but we've crossed over the 10-minute mark on the old lap timing, so maybe we get one more lap. Who knows? I guess we'll find out when we go past the old start-finish line. If someone's in the Discord and knows what's going on, please chime in and let me know. Georgeson now dropping down the order. What is going on? Your guess is as good as mine, folks. Let's just enjoy what's happening out there on track as we watch these beautiful Gen 3 cars go around at a snail's pace here at the moment, led by a Porsche safety car. A beautiful looking cup car as well, mind you. The lights are out on the safety car, so this is the last lap, but we've gone way over time on the 10-minute mark, so let's see what happens, folks, as we come down to the final turn now. Safety car is just going to go around and lead them across the line here. I think that's all she wrote. I think everyone's got their orders sorted out, perhaps. There's the checkered flag, folks. Greg Cook is your winner of qualifying 2. Rogers across the line second. These guys will line up off the front row with Jade Andrews and Hutchins off the second row, Curran and Jansen off the third row, Ward and Connor off the fourth, Potter and Georgeson as they all just ram into each other as well. That's can be dangerous, folks, because a lot of these guys are running, you know, these U-Butte direct drive wheels, and I know if you get a shunt in some of these cars, you can really do you damage, the old wrists or whatever. So actually did hear a nightmare story of a person slumped over their wheel after a big race, resting their chin on the old leather in front, and copped a whack from behind, and the direct drive wheel slung around and whacked him in the jaw and broke it. So it is a contact sport out there, folks. Now we do have a little break. We've got, looks as if we've got 7 minutes of a break now till we get to the race 2 kickoff. So now it's time to go and check out our sponsors. Give them a bit of love on the internet as well if you like what you see. But this is a 5-minute break. We'll be back maybe a little bit before that to talk some more rubbish here at Sensational TV.
Model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles.
And we are back, race fans, for the feature race of the evening. Greg Cook takes the grid place there at the front. With Rogers beside him, we've got Hutchins and Andrews off the second row. Curran and Jansen next to them. We got Ward and Connor off row 4. Potter and Georgeson off row 5. Brittingham and Rogers off row 6. And we are now racing, ladies and gentlemen, in the feature race. 45 minutes of racing action coming up. And look at the start from Ethan Curran, looking up the inside here for the lead. Has to get on the anchors and do it fast because he was headed for that Kmart car in front. But now look at the field as they come streaming through turns 2, 3 and 4 up the hill for the first time, and they are going too wide as well down there. That's Ash Rogers and Marshall. We've got Logan Howard and Brittingham as well side by side. It's all happening here, folks. They hit the back straight for the first time. Cook still leads with Curran in tow by about 4/10. Then there's another little gaggle of cars headed by Grey Ward, and look at this, Potter and Rogers side by side now into the kink here, in through the chicane. Wowee, are they going to get through here? And no, oh, look at that, no tears, but they're still side by side. Look at that there from Brennan, and just splitting the atom up between both of these guys. They go 3 wide down the hill into turn 6. This could be dangerous, but Brennan now clears it, gets to the inside. He's got Shelton around the outside too, trying to hang it fat, but oh no, there goes Brennan, has just locked up the rears and goes back down through the field like a rock here at the moment. Tim Nicol though getting through as well, up into 8th position. Look behind them, we've got Logan Howard on the outside, Ram Jam Potter getting involved as well. Beautiful racing all around by these guys. Stephen Varga, your race 1 winner, is down there in 11th position, but it's battling stations all up and down. Look at this, Hutchins and Brennan now. Brennan getting up through the inside, getting that job done on the comeback trail early after that little mishap earlier on. Carl Brittingham looking up the inside there as well. Oh, just avoiding contact with the car in front. That was very ambitious, as they say. Sorella now getting hounded by Brennan after his little mishap, and doing his best to hold off. But I tell you what, down there it's thick and strong. You're looking out the front trying to make a move, and you're looking in the rearview mirror as you get punted. A little bit of a bump and run there through the final turn from Brennan. Not happy at all was he. He's got the red mist descending down through the helmet and into the old ocular eyes there of Brennan. Looking up the inside now of Sarella, should I say, sorry mate, and gets through on the inside here at turn 3, up through the S's. There goes. On the comeback trail is Michael Brennan. We'll keep one eye on him because up the front it's Jade Andrews and Kobe Marshall on the comeback. Again, Marshall just having an absolute day out as he goes up 8 positions now on the second lap, flying, and obviously an opportunistic driver is he, taking the opportunities when they land. But look at this, they're all starting to line up behind. Logan Howard is on the attack there from Tim Nicol. They go side by side, or at least looking for it, through the left-hander as they go down the hill. Let's ride on board with Logan Howard looking out the front window there. That's Tim Nicol's car as they both clatter across the curbage. Going up the inside there on Jade Andrews too. Really nice move there late from Tim Nichols. Beautiful stuff. Left Logan with nowhere else to go but a little bit of oversteer, and now vulnerable around the outside there. Ryan Shelton chiming in. Let's look at the top view because that will tell the real story. Around the outside goes Shelton. Up the inside is Howard. They just give each other plenty of room, but now Andrews is just the cork in the bottle as that blue and green and black car just dropping down the order there as these fast guys come flying through at a rate of knots, trying to avoid any kind of accidents. But up the front, the battle's on for the lead. Greg Cook holding off Ethan Curran as much as he can, and I'll tell you what, it's a 45-minute lap, 45-minute race in front of us, and these guys are going hell for leather. It's on the lengthy side of a race for these Gen 3 Supercars. We'll see a pit stop as well with a change of tyres and fuel coming up throughout this race. Back here, Grey Ward is on the back of Jay Connor as well. Gets a nice run up through the S's. We'll see how he fares on the other side, and it looks like Jay Connor just getting a little bit shallow on the exit too. So he's going to be vulnerable here for the Grey Ward star coming up behind him through into the chicane. Gets on the brakes early, and look at that. Marshall just appearing from nowhere. The old Houdini up the inside and says, "G'day gents, I'm here and I'll be gone and off very shortly." What was that, folks? That was another little brownout or something happening to the lights here at the Sunshine Coast House. I don't know what the hell's going on, but hopefully we can hold off on the old shitting the bed in the old power department for the rest of this race. 41 minutes to go in this one. Look at Marshall, just absolutely flying, mate. Let's ride on board with him. He's got this car hooked up tonight. Look at him, just eyeing off that Red Bull livery Gen 3 Camaro in front, showing the nose, getting back into the slipstream and just timing his run here. He's going to just try and get the old late apex. Look at how he backs it in too, just on the dancing it on the rears, on the entry. A little bit of oversteer as well, correcting it on the way in. Really nice to watch actually as well. A true poetry in motion, as you could say, in behind the steering wheel is Kobe Marshall. Absolutely going fantastically. Ron Marshall, you should be proud. Your new adopted son is flying. And tell you what, get the other two involved as well. It'll be a triple Marshall sandwich. But look at this. Speaking of sandwiches, it's the old Quantum Motorsports team involved in a little bit of ham to cheese action here at the moment. Side by side, well, they were side by side earlier, but Tim Nichols still just has the better of it in that department. And look at that bit of smoke there coming from Grey Ward and being pushed off circuit on his own volition. Big mistake there from Wardy. Lets through the two Quantum cars as well, and through there is coming is Logan Howard. Look at that. Wardy on the brakes, very wide through turn 4. This could be dangerous. Howard just trying to search for a way around the outside, and look behind him, Ryan Shelton as well. This is going to be exciting stuff going down. Oh, where is he going to go? Shelton nowhere to go. Wardy going very slowly. Maybe some damage there on that Mustang because he's just dropping down like a stone here at the moment. Nowhere for him to go, but up ahead there's a nice little four-way battle pack. Look at that, headed by Marshall, who's just buggering off into the distance. Jay Connor holding up the two Quantum Motorsport cars as well. We've got Tim Nichol there in between him and Stephen Varga Jr. We'll ride on board with him because he's got the best view of the house. He's got Tim Nichol in front of him and probably on the comms saying, mate, come on, I'll give you a couple more corners here before I'm going to send it and have a crack at that Red Bull car myself if you can't get around him anytime soon. But here they go again. It's 7 minutes into this one, and it's been action-packed all the way through. It's what you want to see, folks, absolutely. But here these two guys from Quantum Motorsport are very speedy indeed, but I feel like they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot, squabbling for 6th and 7th position when they could be working together to pick off these guys one by one, starting with Jay Connor, who seems to be just waiting for the inevitable to happen. But we've seen him in the first race quite capable behind the wheel. When he keeps it consistent as well. We saw that thing facing the wrong way in race 1, but let's hope for better fortune this time around. Up in front, Wayne Rogers now is the next victim on Kobe Marshall's hit list, and look at this, pulls up beside him, a little bit of overlap down into turn 1. Looks like he could drive 2 semi-trailers through the gap that Wayne Rogers has left in there as well. Thank you very much, he says. Kobe Marshall up into P3. He has gained 11 positions in this race so far. Absolutely flying, mate. He is really setting the pace and the example to these other drivers. Now it's time for Tim Nichols to stretch the legs of that Camaro down the back straight. Pulls up alongside the Red Bull entry. Dives it in to the inner loop, does that well, but look at this, there's a slow-moving Camaro as well, trying to get out of the way, and now they've all just sort of backed up as well, 2 by 2 around turn 6. That is quite well done from those guys. Turn 5 it was, in fact, but now Tim Nichol through, Varga through, Logan Howard through as well, Shelton through, and Jay Connor just dropping down about 4 or 5 positions there. So you got to do your best out there, but in these reverse grid races, you're gonna have fast drivers coming up at a rate of knots, and we've seen in the past drivers that come to mind. People like Nick Mello, who are very aggressive on the opening laps of reverse grid races, will send it through and throw caution to the wind. You get other guys who are a little bit more methodical about it, It seems that this guy here, Kobe Marshall, is a little bit of both, to be fair. He's gone through aggressively and thoughtfully as well, and kept his nose clean in all of these races so far, which is a miracle in its own, as you've seen how many people have bit the dust. Oh, look at that. Wayne Rogers getting right out sideways in turn 10, turn 11. Manages to hold onto it, though, sitting in P7 now. Enjoying a little bit of a gap back there to Jay Connor, but that gap may disappear in the coming laps. Let's look down the order. Brock Clark under pressure there. Ryan Shelton just saying, I've had enough of this. I'm going to serve my pit stop early and get onto a fresh set of rubber and get out there at the back of the field where there's hopefully a bit less traffic. You can go out there and set some hot laps perhaps, and maybe do a little bit of an undercut from the start. Excuse me. It's a bold move, Cotton, but we've seen bolder moves pay off in the past. Here's Tim Nicol at the front. Just clear now and able to stretch the legs of that Quantum Motorsport. Beautiful livery as well. He's got his teammate and part of the furniture there of his rearview mirror, according to the first couple of races, he's seen nothing but yellow and blue in that mirror for the most part as well. But Stephen Varga, we saw him take out the checkered flag in race 1, so he's no stranger to how his teammate races too, so he's probably got his number. And these guys clearly just working together now to get through the field before they all just sort of bugger off down the distance. One man who's done so is here, Kobe Marshall, man, driver of the day material so far, absolutely flying and taking chunks out of the guys in front. A full second quicker last time around, and 2 seconds quicker on his best lap too. So flying at the moment. Down here, Brock Clark is side by side with Andrews up into turn 9. Looks like Andrews just feeding it from the inside. That's what you want. Ford v Camaro here at the moment. Jade Andrews does have the luxury of the inside run, but sweeping around the outside in the Mitre 10 livery. Oh, big, almost crossing it up. Big tank slapper there, but manages to hold onto it. Brock Clark, beautiful stuff, and promotes himself up into 15th position. Beautiful driving there, and good awareness there from Jade Andrews too, just getting out of the way and knowing when to hold them, knowing when to fold them, knowing when to walk away, folks, is the name of the game here, especially in endurance racing. Oh, great. Ward just missing the outside wall by millimetres, with Patterson just heading around the outside in that purple car. You cannot miss that one. And Wardy would have let off a few little P's and bloody Q's when he saw the bloody wall coming up to him that fast, I'll tell you bloody what. But going great guns there in the Speed Nation livery. Sensational entry. Look at him go out there in the beautiful orange wheels as well. Gray Ward doing a great job down there in 9th position. Only dropped 2 off the start, so now he can find his rhythm and not worry about being in just absolute traffic land in the first couple of laps of a reverse grid race. It can be some frightening stuff. But the battle's on up the front here. We've got Curran and Greg Cook almost side by side. Maybe a little bit of an overlap there, but Cook having the inside run. And now chiming in is Kobe Marshall too. So he gets the job done here on Curran. Look at that, up the inside. Now he's going to go around the outside at turn 9. We get the blimp view. We can get a good idea of what's going on there. Maybe a little bit too far. I don't have my glasses on, folks. That's way too far. But here goes Marshall looking around the outside. Can't really get the job done there at turn 10. It's an apex only turn is that one, but just setting himself up for a late apex. And look at the run from turn 11. He stands no chance of defending this as Ethan Curran. He goes side by side, and there goes Marshall too. He will get into the braking zone first and take P2 well away from Ethan Curran. And now Curran trying to maybe produce a little bit of his own medicine back to him here with the late apex run down and up through the S's now, but the pace on that Camaro there in the hands of Kobe Marshall, very hard to reel in, using every bit of that track too. So next man on his hit list is Greg Cook out there in front, about 7/10 the difference. We'll keep one eye on the telescope there to keep that one in check, because down at the back it's well, now Stephen Vargas chiming in on these two as well. We've got Ethan Curran just falling down the order as these quick speedy customers come flying in through the checkout section here. Watkins Glen, beautiful track, beautiful circuit, and produces good racing in any sort of category that you're involved in. How is Varga going to get this job done? He can see. Oh, look at that. He doesn't want to spend too much time either. Just showing the nose straight up the inside there of Curran. Curran saw him coming, sidesteps him, hits the old loud pedal a bit too hard and spins around and loses 2 positions out of it. Logan Howard gaining one as well. An easy overtake. He'll take one of those every day of the week, folks. Mind you, P2, 3 and 4. That's Marshall, Varga and Howard are all up 12, 14 and 11 positions respectively. The one who's the real mover and shaker is back here in P7 is Stuart Patterson. Look at that, up 17 positions. Absolutely flying as well. He's got the gamer fuel intravenously connected to his veins here at the moment. There's someone just losing it in the background there as well. I don't know who that was. But Logan Howard now coming into the pit. So is Ethan Curran. All these guys actually serving early pit stops, which is surprising, as we saw a lot of them go to about the half race distance mark last time before they all started to peel in. So maybe a few of these guys trying their hand at a different strategy. Maybe it didn't work the first time around, so they're open to suggestions and maybe a little bit of something different up there as well. But now Kobe Marshall attacking P1. If Greg Murphy has anything to say about it in the old 51 Kmart car, it's time to speak or forever hold your peace. He's got to try and hold Kobe Marshall behind him, but it's a very tall order indeed, as this guy's flying and very meticulous about how he gets these overtakes done. Let's ride on board actually with Kobe. See how close he gets it and where he chooses to make this overtake. You can see he's really nicely got that car balance, the body language of it. It's got plenty of front end too. It's not really washing away. He's got ultimate front end grip by the looks of it, and a deft touch on the throttle too. But doing a good job there out in front. Greg Cook so far. Kobe knows he's got a bit of a gap behind, but look at who's just chimed in on the scene. It's Stephen Varga now, just to release the pressure valve on Greg Cook. I'll tell you what, Cookie, all his Christmases have come at once here at the moment, because he will enjoy just a little bit further or a little bit longer out there in the lead, as long as Varga keeps the pressure on Marshall here at the moment. Even Cookie could do some sort of tomfoolery here at the moment and just back Marshall up and say, here you go, Steve, I'll serve him to you on a platter. And you just do your best, son. But it looks like now Varga peeling into the pits. So pipe dream for Cook at the moment, as Marshall pulling out of the slipstream now. We've seen him make a number of positions up down into turn 1, and this will be another one here. But around the outside, holding it fat is the chef. He's got something cooking up. Don't you worry about that. The oil is boiling and the sausages are well done, but it's too much to hold off as Marshall goes up into the lead of the race. P1, 17 minutes in, and let's see how far he can stretch that lead now. He's really going to start to turn the screws, as all these guys are now coming into the pit lane. Ward, Varga, Patterson, Rogers, Sarella as well. And there's battles going up and down as Tim Shelton Tim Nicol has got Ryan Shelton in front of him. He hasn't been able to carve through the pack as well as his teammate has, but he was one of the earlier pit takers as well. He's served his pit stop and come out just in front of Logan Howard there. As you can see, Logan just giving him plenty of curry. Look at that. Whoa, there was about a cigarette paper in between them there, and Logan now has the inside run, gets on the anchors early, and they go side by side through. Oh, there's contact. I'll tell you what, Logan did not give enough space there, and Tim Nickleby absolutely spewing with that, sent it through, and now they just get back out on the track. Maybe a little bit of damage, certainly some aero damage. Hopefully no steering damage for either of those two, and they can get about it on their merry way. But I tell you what, Nickel won't be happy with that move up the inside there from Logan Howard. Just a little bit out of control across the curbing, and finds himself planting hard right there into the side of that quantum computing super hacker car in front. I tell you what, it's a good looking livery, but Tim Nicol now, he's what's going on here? He's redressed the position. Oh, geez. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have... I didn't see it that way, folks. But who am I to say? It's probably a call from the stewards who have had time to have a look at it again. Speaking of which, we can have a look at it again. That's what we can do. Let's go down and have a look at the old replay bank. And just have a closer look about what actually happened there between those two guys, because I feel like it was Logan Howard just sending it in a bit too hard and not giving enough room. But my goodness me, where are we on this this replays function? The peanut gallery have chimed in and reckon he doesn't want to lose our rating, but I don't think it's about that, folks. It's all league racing here. Cannot find the the peanut gallery. We cannot find the replay, so that's one for the memory banks, folks. We'll see how that goes. But Logan Howard now with Greg Cook in his sights. He's looking to make that overtake here and get it done quickly as well, because the guys he was battling with up in front there, we've got Shelton about a second clear of Stephen Varga, or a second behind, should I say. And look at that, Kobe Marshall is out there by 30 seconds to Carl Brittingham. Mind you, he hasn't served his pit stop yet, and I think we saw in the first race that a pit stop probably cost you about 30 seconds. We're going to see when he comes in, surely soon. We're about halfway through, so maybe he just pushes it for another lap, but he's going at a pretty good pace considering the guys that were around him on circuit. His last lap was a 152.9. As you can see, he's pulled into the pits now. Who was the guy behind him? It was Varga. He's the first man out on track that has served his pit stop, and he's clear. He's got a bit of clear air as well. Really wants to put the hammer down here and do just these next few turns are vital to being able to stay in touch with Marshall. We'll get an idea of where he is. He is still not moving on the circuit. Varga rounding the final turn. This is going to be very close, folks, as Marshall not moving at all. And here's Varga. He's going to make that overtake done. That is an undercut if I've ever seen one, folks. And there in the background is Kobe Marshall moving, so he will drop down the order, and quite a ways too. So the overcut has cost him a fair bit there in the old positional department. So Kobe Marshall's got it all to do, but we've seen him do it multiple times tonight anyway. So he's certainly one to be able to pull a rabbit out of the hat, so to speak. But look back here. There's a nice little gaggle of cars. We've got Cook, Shelton, and Howard in a little three-way menage a trois, folks. Who doesn't like one of those? I tell you what, even better out there on the circuit when you get to my age, dead set. Here's it's Kobe on the hunt, though, now with fresh tyres and right up behind his teammate. I'll tell you what, Varga would be on the blower too, saying, mate, you hold him up. We don't want that guy anywhere near us in the end stanza of this race. Tell you what, the guys that pitted early, though, will have... their tyres are going to be fairly shagged by the end of it, too. So, Kobe Marshall electing to go longer than anyone else on that set of tyres. So he will be fresh for quite some time. And here he is, just ducking out of the slipstream now. Tim Nicol will look from above. From the sensational chopper. Oh, getting backed up there. Nicol squeezing him to the inside. Kobe just going a little bit too deep for his own liking, and heading back to the drawing board as well, as we see up in front there Shelton and Logan Howard having a little bit of a tussle as well. Riding on board now with Kobe Marshall through the final couple of turns of this lap. And look how he just gets it into the apex there. Better than anyone. Oh no, there's a car off there up in front. That's Shelton. He's come a gutser, and that's damage on his car too. There's bits of bodywork flying off the thing. He drops down to P6. It's not the end of the world for him. It's still good points, but I tell you what, I don't know if he'll be still in front of this championship come the end of this round. But look at this. Marshall up the inside. Nicol trying to hold it fat around the outside of the S's. This is going to be interesting, folks, because it's one of those parts of the circuit where you can't really go too wide. He takes it right out to the side of the track now. right on his tail here at the moment, up the back end of this circuit. Tim Nicol looking to go defensive now into the chicane. He's doing a good job of it as well, and now it's the pressure valve's off as well because Ryan Shelton has chimed in on the back of him. As long as these guys keep doing this defensive work, Stephen Varga out in front is just counting his lucky stars. Free kick, he says. Keep going, Tim. Defend like a lion. Reminds me of... what was his name? Esteban Ocon and Alonso at Hungaroring quite some time ago. But look at that, showing the nose is Kobe Marshall. I almost said Harley Marshall. I'm very used to saying that name. But now has managed to muscle his way up the inside there at turn 6, on the way across the top of the hill here, looking to turn 7. It's all side by side. Let's go to the top view. There goes Marshall, gets the job done. A little bit of contact there as well. Nickel trying to hold it fat. He will have the inside run here for turn 9, and that's where you want to have it, folks. These guys are going to go side by side again, leaving plenty of room too. Respectful racing, folks. But Marshall just has the legs on the exit, takes that position. That was a well fought effort there. Great exchange from those two drivers. Beautiful stuff there in the fighting department. And now it's all going to kick off behind because we've got Nickel, we've got Shelton, we've got Patterson chiming in too. He's up 17 positions. I tell you what, we've hardly called him because he's just been the silent assassin today, just getting the job done. Ryan Shelton just dipping out of existence there. What's happened to him? Having some net issues for Shelton. That's unfortunate for him. But getting back to the action, I feel like Patterson doesn't know quite what to do because he saw that car just blink out in front of him. And if you played iRacing long enough, you'd never really, well, you know that car may just blink back in at a very inopportune spot. So he's given up the ghost just a little bit there to Tim Nicol in front and Kobe Marshall as well. Those two guys still haven't quite seen the end to this battle, I believe. But maybe Tim Nicol just waving the white flag for now as Kobe has the better of the tyre delta and going great guns at the moment. Stephen Varga out in front, enjoying a 5.5 second gap there to Cook, who, in all honesty, has done a fantastic job. He started at P1 here in this reverse grid bonanza that we saw in the second qualifying session as well. Half the race was run under safety car conditions, so Greg Cook probably up a bit further than where he might have been had that safety car not been called. So he got a massive free kick there and living his best life behind the wheel of the 51 as well. Doing a fantastic job too. Holding off Logan Howard here as he's fast approaching. You can see that gap now, just getting slightly less in the out the front mirror there. 3.5 tenths is the difference. But tell you what, channeling his inner Greg Murphy as he scrapes the wall, gets a little bit acquainted with the outside thing there. Not going to hurt his pace too much. But if you keep doing that, folks, they do add up. It's like the straws that break the camel's back. In this case, it's the scrapes that break the Camaro's sack. All right, the Peanut Gallery chiming in once again. It's great. It's good to have him on board, folks. Greg Cook, though, under big pressure now from Logan Howard. We're right on board and see if he can make a move up into the inner loop. We've seen plenty of moves done here today. I think he might just be a little bit further back, though, and maybe running a little bit more aero than the car in front because he didn't quite seem to be able to get the suck that we've seen off some of these other cars. And as these two battle, look behind, look who it is. It's that old chestnut again, Marshall, working his way through the field and using every bit of the track too, as you can see in your background. Using the track and a little bit of that green stuff on the outside too. Why not if it's available to you? Here goes Logan Howard now, just showing the nose around the outside, possibly looking for a dummy up the inside here at turn 6. It's not going to happen, but wide goes Cook on the exit. That invites the Game of Fuel entry right up the inside. They go side by side this time. Is there an overlap? Maybe. We're going to find out as Cook squeezes across to go defensive. Now, Logan out onto the racing line again. The two fast guys coming through as well in Nicol and Marshall, just watching all this happen and thinking, well, do I want to get involved? Marshall certainly does. Right up the back of Logan at the moment and giving him plenty of curry, probably serving out the Vindaloo by the bucket load here at the moment. And Greg Cook doing the best defensive job we've seen so far. Haystack chiming in. That must be Ryan Shelton says his internet dropped on what could have been a good finish. Oh, well, one of these weeks I'll sneak into a win. Absolutely, and unfortunate stuff there from you. But here is the action on track here at the moment. Logan looking for that late apex and the slingshot maneuver and gets that job done. This is going to be an easy pass up into turn 2 and 3 here through the S's. But look at that Kmart car hanging it fat around the outside. He's going to, Marshall's coming from nowhere. And look at Nickel too. The absolute pace on him. They're going to go 2 by 2 Noah's Ark style now. This could be 4 wide into the inner loop. That's what we want to see, folks. Look at Marshall splitting the atom up the inside. Logan breaks last, gets it in through there. Haystack subscribes to the channel as well. Nickel around the outside. Cook drops 4 positions, but now Howard just holding steady here with Marshall. What an exchange from all these drivers. Fantastic to see. I'll tell you what, that's what you pay your money for, folks. That's more than entry fee down. I'll tell you what, take that and all the rabbits to your mother and say thank you very much. Oh, goodness me. It's you lose your voice out here talking in the old solo department, I'll tell you what. But it's a 4-way battle now. Stephen Varga, while these guys are squabbling down here for P2, Varga's out there by 8.2 seconds. Look at this, Marshall and Tim Nickel now chiming in. Howard trying to go defensive here, but for how long? Let's get on that top view. Look at Marshall. Just the amount of traction he's able to get out of these turns is absolutely phenomenal. That's how he gets these overtakes done, folks. He just seems to be able to get the power from the wheels to the ground, and with minimal slippage too. They go through turn 10 side by side. This is exciting stuff. Tim Nickel just watching it all happen and just waiting for some kind of crumbs to fall off the table like a Labrador with his tongue hanging out saying, yes, this is the time, folks. And now it is, because he's caught Marshall napping, and this could be the time here for Nickel to make the move. He's right there on the inside into turn 1, tries the block pass, slides it up the inside, being very cautious too, but that's enough. That's all you need to do. And now look at Cook chiming in too. Marshall's about to lose 2 positions here if he's not careful, but firing it in around the outside and holding steady there. And Cook, his eyes lit up there as well. I bet he saw the seas parting in front of him and thought, yeah, this is my time. I'm getting that position back. But I tell you what, Marshall, very a wily old customer out there tonight, knows exactly where to put that car and did so, and managed to hold on to P4 at the moment. But I tell you what, great maneuver there from this man, Nickel. Caught him napping. I think Marshall had his eyes firmly planted in the forward direction, trying to navigate that overtake on Howard. Didn't notice that Nickel had been just setting him up that whole time. Got that run out of the final turn, and nothing Marshall could do, really. He couldn't come across to defend because it was too late. That hole had been severely plugged. So now it's Nickel's turn to have a little crack at Howard, and the gap is about 4/10, but getting lower as we get. Well, the more you go, the lower it goes. That's, if that makes any sense, ladies and gentlemen. We make up our own words here at Sensational TV. We will start a dictionary one day as well. If we can find a publisher to publish that. Anyone can write a book, I suppose, but that's for another time. Out in front, Varga, still by about 8.8 tenths. This is the battle for P2. We've got Logan Howard, we've got Tim Nickel, Kobe Marshall, and Greg Cook as well. Hasn't really been gapped by this mob, but chiming in behind him is now Stuart Patterson in the 197 Gamer Fuel entry. And he's been the quiet assassin as well. He's come up 18 positions as well, so not to be snuffed at as well. Just getting the job done here, but tell you what, look at this up the front. Tim Nickel now trying to, I guess, strategize this attack. We've got it looks like the white flag is out. Is that right? So this could be the final lap of the race, folks. We're going to ride on board with Stephen Varga, because this could be the final lap, and I don't want to get caught with my pants down again. This iRacing feature sometimes throws me a bit of a dummy in the old when the last lap department is happening, so we're just going to ride on board with him for now. We'll see what Patterson's doing, because the actions are plenty happening out there as well. It is white flag territory. Let's see where Varga is on the circuit, coming up the heel, or the boot, should we say, to turn 8, 9, 10 and 11 to finish this race off, perhaps. It does say white flag, so we're going to trust that. You can't put I tell you what, sometimes you should not trust software. But I, for one, welcome our mechanical overlords. And I don't know if you folks use AI or anything, but I always say please and thank you, just because if they do, and when they do, take over the world, they remember that I was nice to them. And I tell you what, Stephen Varga doesn't care about being nice, because he has now just put his best foot forward and won 2 from 2. He goes across the line, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks like in celebration takes the checkered flag and takes 2 from 2. That's 2 wins, folks. Stephen Varga puts himself firmly back into the championship hunt to go back-to-back Brisbane Lions style in the old championship department. So the celebrations start there in the Quantum Motorsport as he takes P3 as well. Logan Howard crossing the line for P2, and he's pretty happy about it. Getting the smoke out. Beautiful stuff. Tim Nicol in the background getting the doughies happening as well. As your top 3, folks. Kobe Marshall in P4. Threw everything at it too. I tell you what, it'd be hard fought not to give him driver of the day today, because he was on fire. It'd be interesting to see how he progresses throughout the rest of this season. If he can get his quali pace up, tell you what, he doesn't have to do 20 overtakes in a race. He can just start from the front and lead it out there. So an action-packed rest of this this championship, and I tell you what, plenty of speedy guys can take the chockies in this one, so we're looking forward to that. But the man of the moment, there he is, just spinning on rims at the moment, is Stephen Varga. Your season 1 championship winner has come back in style here as well for round 2, taking the round win and the clean sweep, mind you. 2 from 2, absolutely beautiful stuff. But that is the race won and done, ladies and gentlemen. If we can get the results up, we can't. It'll just be a short wait until we can get the official results out there. But thank you to everyone for chiming in the chat. We got Brendan Hark, we got Hayes Stack, we got the head of the cheese board. As always, good to have you on board. Jeremy Bond, that is James's cousin. We got Quote in there as well, saying shout out to the mechanics for getting the cars fixed up for this race. Yeah, absolutely. The untold work, always. So let's see the feature race results. Excuse me. Stephen Varga for Quantum Peckies Racing is the winner by 8.5 seconds to the Logan Howard. Tim Nicol in 3rd position. Kobe Marshall in 4th. Greg Cook in 5th with Stuart Patterson in 6th. Gray Ward in 7th. That's a good overall finish for him as well. He'd be absolutely bloody wrapped with that. Michael Brennan in 8th position. Jay Connor in 9th. John Simpson and Matt Munro with a super chat. $15. Thank you very much, sir. With Jay Connor in 9th position. John Simpson in 10th. Juha Sarella in 11th with Rainey Rogers in 12th and Jacob Smith 13th. Carl Brittingham 13th. 14th is Jade Andrews. Ash Rogers, who is Wayne Rogers' son, in 16th position. Brock Clark 17th. 18th, Jason Hudgens. And there are more, folks. Let's go down the order. Poor old Harry Potter down there in 19th position needs a bit more of that the magic wand waving to get him up the order. We see he's quite speedy in the GD3s, but maybe a little less used to the Gen 3s, but that'll come in time. Ethan Curran in 20th, Jansen in 21st, Summerall 22nd, Georgeson in 23rd, having a shocker down there with Mitchell Sykes in 24th. Shelton in 25th was a disconnect, and so was Ben Mead in 26th position. That's round 2 done and won, folks. We will be back next week where we will be out and about in, let me just have a look at where we are racing next week, because I'm sure it's going to be an absolute ripper. Silverstone, November 9th, ladies and gentlemen. That's 1 week from now. The Silverstone GP circuit. It's going to be an absolute ripper in these cars too. I've got a feeling it's going to suit them down to a T. So looking forward to that indeed. But it's time for me to get out of here, pack up my gear and hit the old highway. back to Brizzy. But it was a pleasure calling all the race for everyone. Marshall Motorsports was very sweaty, mate. That was an absolute cracking drive from you. Hopefully more of that as well. But good to see everyone chiming in on the chat. I'm out of here. I think we've had enough. When's the next broadcast? We're going to be back on, Tuesday night for Aussie Sim Racing here. The GT3 challenge will be back Tuesday night. They're racing in the wet at Zandvoort. So that's going to be ripping a lot of fun. My PC is hopefully keeps the smoke inside it with all the rain and extra little bits it's got to process, but that'll be fun. That'll give it a workout. But I'll be joined in the box by Zach O'Reilly, possibly Lindsay Muddle as well. So we'll have a full house there in the box. You won't get sick of listening to my dulcet tones for the whole evening, thank goodness. But until then, folks, it's time to sign off here, Sensational TV. My name is Chris Munro. Thank you all for watching. And as Zach says, keep it flat out.
Sensational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.